Since uko kwa ofisi ya PWDs Kajiado North, unaweza tuelezea venye services huwa zinadeliveriwa kwa the people with disability, venye watu wanaweza wafikia those offices kwa za PWDs?
I think Kajiado County has really tried its level best to make sure that people with disabilities plight has been realized. Given myself being as a member of Kajiado County Disability Mainstreaming Board, I was able to see what the activities that the executive, Kajiado County executive or county executive member could do. County executive member is just a minister of a county. Whatever he or she has been given as his or her portfolio to perform or to conduct, that is a minister. And the minister in charge of disability or social services could do according to maybe the policies of that county government. It depends also with the governor himself or herself. It has tried, given the rules that have been put there, or we call it a regulation of Kajiado County Disability Mainstreaming Board. They tried to mainstream disability issues in each and every government department where we could also be recognized. We used to have meetings each and every quarter of an year where we go and discuss issues maybe surrounding people with disabilities, whatever the activities we would want to carry on each and every year. And it was being deliberated quarterly, whereby even in a year we could sit 3 times, because a quarter of an year is around 4 months. And we did that well in our first term, which we again seek for another term, which ended last year in October, in August, 25th, after the last general election that we just witnessed last year. And we can account for a number of things or legacies. We really pushed for a bill that could include a number of things that we wanted our disabled counterparts or disabled colleagues would also benefit. One was to make sure that the allocation that we were given by the regulation was not enough. 10 million for a financial year is not enough, because we have very many needs, whereby there are others who cannot even access wheelchairs as we speak in Kajiado County, while they are bedridden in their households. There are others who needs what we call medical care, that is the drugs that they really want because of their conditions in their respective households. There are others who would also want the bursaries, and where we have really tried to make sure that we have done our best is on the education, where bursary we tried to make sure that through that regulation of Kajiado County Disability Mainstreaming Board was trying to make sure that the bursary allocation was 50,000 from a student from high school to universities. It was really enough for somebody to continue with his oral education from for a term, and then even also he can go up to the second term. And I can think this was a milestone when the county members of county assembly passed this regulation. They knew what they were talking about, and it was a result of consultation they did with the people with disabilities. Then we said if we could be given 50,000 shillings for the bursary when you are a person who is in secondary school, it would be enough. And even if you are fortunate to get another one, and then it will even push you for about a year without even being sent back home again. And even those who have been in universities, they really benefited from this bursary. and we really appreciated, because this was one area that people who really benefited could appreciate that it was one of its best. Where we had problems is on the employment. People are not being employed even if you have graduated, and we tried also to push this when we were members of Kajiado County Disability Mainstreaming Board and others like funding businesses. We tried initially, but after the COVID came into being, it was not easy for those who are in businesses in Kajiado County, especially people with disability, caregivers, to be able to get these funds, because the government really made sure that the funds that were available then were used for the purposes of other COVID-19 interventions, and that is where we had a problem or a challenge. And even when it comes to also food distribution in terms of nutrition, some who are vulnerable, they are really in need of these nutritious food donations, like those who are being affected by mental. There are other flours that are meant for them, that is porridge flour, and other essential food donations. And I think in 2020 the government also tried through the board, which intervened and agitated for this kind of food donations, so that various disability groups within Kajiado County, that is especially in Kajiado North, would get food donations. And they tried also to make sure that they get food, even though in some other sub-counties were not able to get them, like in Kajiado West. But North, I can say, where I've tried also to make sure that I networked with the government, I was able to make sure that food donations reached to our people. Even the wheelchair, we tried to make sure that we get the wheelchair through the social services department, and with the help and the support of Her Excellency spouse, that is the First Lady, Madam Edna Lenku, tried also to make sure that we got some wheelchairs. There were about 8 of them in 2021, and we tried to also make sure that we balanced those who are in Kajiado North who got them, because they could also go through an assessment and vetting, and they managed to benefit. And these are some of the milestones that we can say actually Kajiado County has done some tremendous changes, even though they have not reached to the expectation of majority, which I know with the time, with those who are in the board membership as we speak, they will be able also to make sure that they articulate this and represent the rights and also the interests of these people in that board, like the way we did during our time. Mark you, we were the first people who experienced all this, and we were able to see this. And if they can also go further to benchmark with other counties like Machakos, other counties like Bungoma, other counties like Kisii counties, they will be able to also see what they've done. I can also commend our Disability Mainstreaming Board, headed by our fund administrator by the name David Tuke, who really tried to make sure that things work well for us as board members, and I really appreciated him very much. That is with the help of his team at that social department, really made sure that our plight, and we were able to push for the rights of these people, the interests of these people, for the entire Kajiado County Disability program, and we were able to transact, and also those who participated in all the Nondo sporting activities were able to be given the support, and we were able to walk all the way from Kajiado to Turkana to Isiolo, where we experienced some of the cultural exchanges. We were able to learn some of these things, which had really impacted on the members who participated. There was also beauty contest for those who are ladies with disabilities, like one of us who really contested the women rep by the name, my colleague, the Honorable Halima Sharif, who have been participating for beauty contest or beauty beauty contest, sorry. He really performed, and for a year in 2020 she got the title of a queen, for being one of the beauty lady with disability for Kajiado County, and she got the crown, and that crown really marketed her, and that is what made her to get interested on how to vie for a women rep for Kajiado County. And she really tried also, even though she never got it to be elected as an independent candidate then in 2022 general election. But others also tried also to make sure that they contest various seats like MCAs. Some were also able to also seek for various seats for MP in Kajiado County, and even others have also been appointed. But me as a person with disability, and I still remain as a person with disability and as a leader, I've been able also to be appointed to represent people with disability in Uwezo Fund committee member for Kajiado North. I'm also a member for sexual and based violence board member for Kajiado North. I'm also appointed as the committee for bursary allocation by my area member, my ward ward member of county assembly, Honorable Titus Matheka Musyoka, who really had some hopes, and he has a confidence with me, and we have really worked well to make sure that the plight and also the interests of people with disability in that committee is well represented. We are working well, and I believe also maybe the way I've been viewed by the various opinion leaders has really made me to also build a confidence of making sure that I serve my people within Kajiado North as their leader. I also double also as a member of a committee for food distribution headed by the Deputy County Commissioner, going to coming down to DO for my Ongatarongai location, Mrs. Metrin, and other regional leaders were coming down up to village administrators and also ward admins. Even also we have the assistant chiefs and also the senior chiefs who have really recognized me, and they have given me a support, especially those ward admins that I've got, beginning with Mr. Samuel Mushiri, who has given me a support to make sure that we support people with disabilities. He supported us during his tenure as a Ongatarongai ward administrator, and he also not to forget some of my village administrators, beginning with Mercy Wanja, who has been there for us. They have supported us, and even other village administrators who knows me within Ongatarongai location. They have really supported people with disability. Not to forget other elected leaders who also stood with us, and that is none other than Mr. Mwadi Pere. Honorable Mwadi Pere has stood with us since his election. He has been paying for us rent, where we now have our offices for people with disability. It is him who has really stood with us since he was elected as the area member of county assembly of Ongatarongai ward, before he was replaced by the current MCA, Honorable Titus Matheka Musyoka. And now we really applaud Mr. Mwadi for whatever the support he gave us, even when he dropped out not to stand as an MCA, but we still really recognize him, and we will continue to recognize him. And whoever has taken over has really tried to make sure that we get the support we so need, because this office is serving Kajiado North Disability Fraternity, and that is where we now operate our activities. And also very soon we will make sure that we launch various activities for our upcoming community-based organization that we are trying to make sure that it continue to make sure that other services that we have not realized as a Kajiado North Disability Group are not doing. We will be able to make sure that we do our mandate as per the leaders of this particular region on the Tarongai.
Which are the official documents which are needed for someone maybe to get a bursary, to get a wheelchair, or to be in those services, in these offices?
Okay, there are documents that goes with the bursaries. For you to qualify to get a bursary with the National Council, you have to apply having filled a form that is there in their web portal. If you download, then you just fill the information that they have put there in templates. But you must also remember the documents they want you to attach: the national ID and the National Council for Persons with Disability card. That is the disability card. You must photocopy it and you attach it to affirm that you are a true member of disability. And there is a number there they normally input to confirm your membership when you have applied. That is as far as bursary being sought by a person with disability to come from the National Council end. Then with regards to bursaries that people normally seek in MP's office and also MCS office, women reps office, these ones, it depends with the way you presented maybe your need. Some do not have these important documents to really show that you are a person with disability, but those who have it normally attached to that form that is there, because you have to fill a form when you need a bursary from MCS office, MP's office, women reps office. But some of them who do not attach this, sometimes by bad luck or unfortunately, when the committee which is doing the vetting decides not to give you because you've not attached this important document like a national ID, it is in their discretion to make sure that they make that decision. But if they really know you physically, that you are visually impaired, or you are physically impaired or handicapped, or when they know you one-on-one that you are in need or the most needy person in terms of disability, they will not deny you that. But it is a requirement that you must attach your disability card to enable you be eligible. That is the first priority. The first one, the first requirement, you must be believed that you have not gone your way to be given that preference as a person with disability while you are not. Even if your child is a parent with this, your child is the one whom you are seeking the support to get is not a person with disability, but you are also to show that you as a person with disability, you have the card, so that your child who is not disabled can be assisted. Because of your disability, maybe it has made you not to maybe get some money somewhere or elsewhere, or you are not working, or your business is not doing well. Just the other way, other able-bodied are applying for bursaries. But the fact being that you are a PWD and you have attached that, it gives you an opportunity to be given a priority, so that you get that a kind of consideration. Again, for you to also get employment, you must show also you are a person with disability by attaching this, because they will also want you to fill a form that you are a person with disability and your category of disability has already been filled there. They will go into it through that document. They see all this, they say, okay, he has met the qualifications, that is the minimum one, And another advantage is that he has attached the document that is needed. So, and that's why we make sure that we enlighten our people, we sensitize our people to be able to acquire this important document, whereby they go through the county hospitals, accredited ones.
You can
Especially
take us through the process of getting the ID card. This is the main document.
Yes.
Take us through the process now.
The process of getting those documents are a bit tedious, but that is the norm. You have to go to the accredited hospital located or situated at the sub-county level. If you do not know, you just Google the accredited hospitals for persons with disabilities assessment to acquire the disability card. It is there online, and you will get to know that really when you are in Meru, or you are in Siaya, or when you are in Kajiado, when you are in Machakos, the accredited hospitals that you need to know where you are is this hospital. This hospital, if you go there and seek the assessment or any disability assistance you need, they will be able to show you. Again, you can go to any of the National Council for Persons with Disability office located in your counties. That is the county commissioners' offices. They also have the National Council's offices located there. That one you can also go there and seek where you can get the hospital that will be in a position to assess you. Once you've gone to those offices or those hospitals, they will give you a doctor. They have doctors. Actually, those doctors have been trained on how to do the assessment for various disability categories that we have, and they will be able to actually approve your disability in that form, and then the form you are being given is a medical report, and that report is taken to the referral hospital in that particular county, which will document your details, and then details is transferred to the system of National Council's offices in that respective county. We call it disability office, which has the disability officer in charge. He will or she will make sure that all your details are documented and computerized in that system, which they again transfer to headquarters based in Westlands, Nairobi, and from there your details will be shared with the De La Rue company, which is the printing company that will now finally print out the cards, and these cards will come out depending on maybe the we call it maybe the availability of funds they have acquired from the government or the respective government institution. We call it the department under the Ministry of Labor, and that is the social services, which will now disburse these funds on a timely basis, and these funds will be paid, and that is where the De La Rue printing company will now print the cards, and these cards are being disbursed per counties, and then they will now send them to the respective beneficiaries, and that is how we will now get it. Initially, we used to go to our headquarters based in Westlands headquarters for National Council for Persons with Disabilities, but with the new guidelines that came into being by the last regime, they ended up coming up with a new directive and new policies on how to do or conduct assessments, and the qualified doctors are the ones to do it. They are supposed to do it professionally, to make sure that all the disability fraternity are assessed and they get this important document which is needed for you to have it. And we now have a new generation disability card that has the advantage like the security features. It has your details, and whenever you will require it, you will make sure that the government also knows that you are a person with disability. The government will really want this information, after which when the national census was done in 2019, they made sure they collected all the details of people with disability who have not employed, who are really caregivers, how many children are they taking care of, which kind of activities are they doing to make sure that these children have been taken care of, have they gone to school as caregivers. So you know all those details are in that form. So when you fill the right information in that form, that is all your details that will be captured in your card. And when it is when they will also look for the information pertaining you, if they find out that you are not assessed at the respective hospitals accredited in the country, then they will disown you as a person with disability. And that's why we are saying many people will not become beggars in the street, because the government have the capacity to make sure that they know those who are not employed while they are disabled, they know those who are doing businesses while they are disabled, they know those who have gone to universities while they are disabled, they have known those who are outside the country while they are doing their businesses in those respective counties while they are disabled, doctors who are disabled, who are who are serving other people despite their disability. They know those who are disabled but they are not incapable of doing something that serve other publics also as well. So disability is not inability. Yes.
Kwa hiyo form nini unafaa uattach?
You should attach your birth certificate. You should the requirements that are needed to be attached are: one, if you are an adult, the national ID photocopy. If you are a child or a person who is a minor, then the birth certificate is required. These two documents normally portrays and shows that you are still in school, being in primary and also in high school as a student, and also in university as a student. But not only that, this one requires other details or data that goes with whether you don't have it, that is the birth certificate, or you don't have it, the national ID. Are you a Kenyan then? Because a Kenyan in this situation or the current situation we are in, you must have acquired what we call the national ID. You must have acquired what we call the birth certificate, even if you didn't acquire it when you are born at home or in hospital. But have you really gone further to seek this important document at this time, where you go to their respective office at the constituency level? Like in Kajiado North, we have Ngong offices where nowadays birth registration as well as death registration is being conducted. So it is not difficult for anyone who has a person with disability or a child with disability or an adult with disability to say that he doesn't have the national ID card, or to say that his child or the child who is a special needs does not have a birth certificate, to be able to also get this disability card. No, you will be asked that we are doing this particular assessment, and the document that we so need must be the ID of this child or this particular person with disability, that will really portray that he is really a Kenyan. Because a birth certificate will actually indicate your dad, your mom, and also where you are born and which country. But if you are not a Kenyan, it will really show that you don't have a national ID, and that is why that national ID and also the birth certificate is very important during the assessment and as well as registration as a person with disability.
Is there a need for a passport?
To some extent, the passport might be also be important if at all you don't have it. You don't have the ID, that is the national ID. But the first one, they will require that. If you lost it, they can use that passport, a Kenyan passport, because you are a Kenyan. Yes.
And a facial passport.
Sorry?
And a stamp passport to be attached.
And also, not to forget, for your picture to be captured in that disability card, sorry, I forgot that, you must also have a passport photo that will indicate that you are really there when that assessment was being done, and it will really show that it is you, indeed it is you who has been interviewed and you've given the information, and now your face is being pasted in that disability card to really show you, and it is you and you, no any other person. Yes, so those are the 3 requirements that you need to attach: the national ID, the passport photos, and also the birth certificate for a minor.
Na ni opportunities gani zinakuanga maybe kwa county government, kwa national government, kwa watu wako na disability?
Opportunities are normally varies. Yes. One, when you seek for maybe what we call government tenders, they say AGOPO Act, which was enacted in the Parliament 2012-2013, but it went through 2015. That is Procurement and Disposal Act. I can say when you have this disability card, you are mandated, and also you are entitled to go and apply for an AGOPO certificate, which will now enable you to seek for government tenders. That is number 1. You cannot be given an AGOPO certificate as a person with disability when you do not have the disability card. That is number 1 important of this card. Number 2, if you are a person with disability and you need a job meant for people with disability within your county, definitely you will get it. Those ones that were put aside for people with disability, you get it. Number 3, we have some kinds of some bursaries meant for people with disability. Those have been reserved for people with disability. You will get it when you really have this card, because you cannot apply for bursaries within your county while you do not have this card. They will really want you to attach maybe the disability card to be able to get that slot meant for you, the one that were preserved for people with disability. And again, there is what we call in Kajiado County Youth Women Enterprises Fund. This Youth Women Enterprises Fund is considering groups or persons with disability also to apply. And whenever you apply, you must attach disability card copies, and they will actually go through that document, how you filled it, the certificate that you've done, so that you be qualified. No, you cannot get this fund when you have not attached all the members who are disabled and their true registration a card that has been attached there. So you will really be eligible only as a group, and this group also must when you are applying for registration, must attach the true membership of this group. Are they 70% people with disability? Yes. And if yes, what can show, what can prove, what are the evidences? Evidences are they feel that members who form part of this group, 70% are people with disability, and their disability card copies have been attached. That is approved, yes. So that is number 4. Number 5, the Kajiado County came up with what we call Mbuzi Moja Maisha Bora. This program made sure that people with disabilities in Kajiado County also benefit from this program, and they were also included whereby if you are not able to apply for an NHIF card, then they could come and make sure that the National Hospital Insurance Fund come to your respective ward through the ward admin. Like in Ongatarongai ward, we were able to be assisted by our former ward admin by the name Samuel Mushiri, who made sure that in Ongatarongai ward I was able to give about 35 names, but 26 of them were successful, of which even me, I'm a witness and being also a beneficiary. I'm not paying what we call NHIF fund, which I'm supposed to be paying per month or maybe per year, but it is the government, that is Kajiado County government, that is paying for us, and I am also a beneficiary, which I appreciate so much, and I embrace that because that is a plus, that is a milestone of this particular county. For those who benefited, they are now really feeling it, and they really embrace it. And thanks to His Excellency the Governor, the Honorable Governor Joseph Ole Lenku, for that. And that one is there. For if I were not a person with disability, I could have not gotten it. So with the help of this card, now when I acquired it, I didn't know the benefit will come. Not only that, I said when you are a person who would also want to make sure that you participate in various activities, or those who also want to be assisted or supported with other organizations like NGOs, they will also want to see that you are a person with disability and you have registered. You will not be considered when you do not have that particular card. In one way or another, you want maybe funding or maybe grants, and these grants are offered by either the women rep or maybe a member of parliament, or like those who have been representing various representing people with disabilities in various committees. You cannot be a member of that particular committee when you do not even have that card. Disability card is now needed everywhere. It is there is no question about it. You must show and indicate that indeed you have it, and that's why those who have been representing people with disabilities interests in those respective committees, you must have that disability card to be able to also represent your people there. Even if you are going to talk in English or in Kiswahili, be it whatever the language you are going to talk with, you must have got it, and you must have been a person with disability. And the importance and the advantages of these cards are so many. There are so many. Yes.
Briefly, unaweza tuelezea tax exemption venye ina work kwa disability?
Okay, I forgot to say this card also enables the KRA to exempt you from paying other duties, and that is very important because when you become a person who is now an adult, you can opt maybe to go for other activities like in businesses, and the KRA through their portal, they came up with these preferences where it could be considered not to pay some duty tax. And when you want to make sure that you import some of the items, or we call them goods, there are some goods that we have been exempted not to pay tax, like maybe the goods that are meant for people with disabilities, like the wheelchairs you are selling here in Kenya, or maybe medical equipments that are meant for people with disabilities. Now we call them adaptive devices. These are devices or assistive devices, that devices that normally people with disability uses for their life, or as long as they are still alive. And when you want to buy them, you go to those shops meant for these adaptive and also assistive devices that they use during their education time, like the university students, they use some specialized computers. Now these assistive devices, when you want to import them from outside the country, then the KRA has come up with some policies that are really exempting us through the National Council, which has really registered us to make sure that we do not pay at the custom offices, and therefore that is a plus for us. Not only that, when you are employed, you are duty bound not to pay what we call an income tax, and this income tax are very important for us when the government want to tax you as a person who is now getting income. That income tax we are exempted not to pay. Not only that, when you have that tax exemption, when you are a supplier here locally, there are we make sure that we don't pay what we call the income tax with regards to the businesses that we have transacted for a whole year, and the proceeds that you've gotten must not be more than 150. Once you've gotten maybe 150,000 shillings downwards, then the government or the KRA will not collect that tax on behalf of the government, because you've been tax exempted. Now that one, it is there in the public domain, and the publics can now hear it. And not only the publics, people with disabilities, is very important to recognize yourself in the government that have really worked hard to make sure that through the Disability Act that was there, under that provision, it must be implemented, and they have implemented them. Your work or the owner's activity or responsibility that is needed of you is to go and acquire this card. It is there. Let us not complain that the government is not doing its level best. To some extent, the government is doing well. They are doing well. In Kenya, we are really doing well. With the disability elites, we have seen a number of us going even outside the country because of the whatever we have done, whatever the opportunities we have gotten. Now the doors are just open for you. For those who have not gotten, don't lose hope. Why are you losing hope? Come to me, come to my office, go to our counterparts' offices where they are, get their numbers, join these WhatsApp groups, these social media, whatever that we have in Kenya. A number of them normally get information, and those information, get advantage of them. Join those links that can make you be able to see something that you could not see, something that you could not hear. It is there, and that's why we need activists. Like we have some activists who have really worked hard to partner with various organizations that make sure that people with disabilities rights are really adhered to, and therefore those are the real organizations and activists that we want, so that these people with disabilities, through the activists, they can really, like in your case here, as we speak, whatever you are going to make sure that you articulate must represent the interests of these people, and must go out and be heard that we are really for these people. We are their voices. We are not here to make money. It is not on the monetary basis that we can do whatever we want to do to achieve what we want to achieve for our selfish interest, also so that we benefit individually. No, what we want is to make sure that these people with disabilities, wherever they are, maybe internationally or globally, they be assisted. What they need is a space. What they need is that space that is needed of her or him. The space is what? Maybe he wants to be a business. She wants to be a business person. Maybe she wants to own business meant for people with disabilities. Disability-owned business the world over are there. But who are there? Who really go for them? It is us. Let us stand up as people with disabilities where we are. Right now in those respective and various counties, we have now 47 counties. Where you are, make sure that you give these people with disabilities opportunities. When they seek, when they knock the doors, open the doors for them. When they seek for maybe an intervention, you intervene as a public officer, or maybe as a duty bearer where you are. You might even one day find yourself in that situation. How do you feel if maybe now you are grounded and nobody is for you? Will you now say whatever you did for a person with disabilities what has come now to haunt you? No, you won't like to be haunted. But because you did some good deeds, now you will feel so pleasantly to make sure that you also get what you worked hard for. And that is what we want to say. Thank for all these organizations that are working for us, the organization that has been formed of people with disability and for persons with disability, working together hand in hand with both two levels of government in Kenya. They are trying their level best. Whatever the resources you have, use it well so that you empower these people. Use it well to make sure that these people are sensitized. Now, if I can say, whatever the categories we have, that is for AGPO. The AGPO opportunities are there, but some people are taking advantage. They know people who with disability are slow. They are slow. They don't run up and there because of mobility issues, because of visual issues, because maybe they do not talk, they cannot communicate, and you take advantage registering them. After registering them, you register company with them, and then at the end of the day you abuse that disability, the position you now have, to make sure that you enrich yourself. It is not good, it is not fair, and that is when the law will catch you, because you will not run away from the law. Under the Companies Act, it is not allowed that you use a person with disability so that you run away with all the riches that you have acquired. That one you will not be allowed. You won't allow, and that is now when the disability fraternity will now compel you to compensate this particular person that you have misused wrongly, and the law or the provisions of the law under Article 54 will get hold of you.
Yes. Finally, what advice can you give to people about the mindset, on their mindset on people with disability, and what can you tell people with disability?
Now, the mindset that the able-bodied have for these PWDs, that they need sympathy or empathy. We do not need empathy or sympathy at all. We are not people to be sympathized or to be empathized with. What we need is fairness. Being honest with us is what we need. Just do what the law requires of you to do. When you are building a house, you know there is what we call accessibility under Disability Act. When you know actually this is a person who is not communicating and it is a government office, you should employ a person who is interpreting that communication language for him or her. We should try to make sure that we implement the law as it is. Let us not make it difficult for people with disabilities to communicate in your offices. Then when the law says that you should not discriminate, employ them so that they do not feel left out because of their disability. Let's employ them. And very soon we will make sure that we include the employers to know that these people are also performing. They can also do jobs that you require of them to do. Very soon we will launch various programs that will make these people to be known, so that you know where they exist. And to people with disabilities who are my brothers and sisters, let us just sit there and you need what we call sympathy. Handouts will not be forever for us. Handouts are not good for us. Because when a person gives you today, tomorrow he will not give you again. He will say, now you are used to it. Why don't you use that money he has given you to go and do something which is very futuristic? It will help you forever and forever. If you use this money for maybe business, whatever, or you use it in the right way, he will really feel so happy that whatever you seek, you can now get it. And again, if you give an opportunity, use it well. Don't take advantage that tomorrow, when you will be out of this job, you've been given a chance to serve somewhere as a person with disability, then you've gone out of your way, absenting yourself from these jobs, doing whatever you want to do on your own without seeking any support. Even if you are sick, then seek for what we call sick leave. It is there in the Constitution that you have your right to make sure that you get that sick leave. And this sick leave will make you be able to recover as per the medication as per the advices of the medic. And this medic will make sure that you are prescribed with the right drugs that you are supposed to take. And no employer will really say, you really tried to lie or to be honest with them, and then you be laid out of that particular job. And you really embrace the not-for-profit organizations that are trying to make sure that they empower these people with disability. Continue doing it. Continue until you make sure that you've done it to your best, because whatever the resources you have acquired on behalf of these people must be properly put into use, and it must benefit these people, be it children who are vulnerable, be it women with disabilities, be it youth with disabilities, be it adults with disabilities who really require all these resources for their entire life. Help them where you can as a good citizen, and make sure that you follow up. That is what we call monitoring and evaluation, where you will evaluate actually whatever you have delivered in terms of resources have really done something and have really made some impact, which is positive. It has really changed the life of this particular person economically and even socially. Even if this person is supported politically, then politically, what are the impacts, the result, the end result? What has it really done to ensure that these people who have been supported have really benefited? For what? Is it negative or the positive impact is that this person has really benefited, and that is what we actually would want to embrace. Yes.
And to your fellow PWDs, what can you tell them?
My fellow PWDs, what I would really say is that we are really there for you, but you should stand firm to make sure that you defend yourself not to be used or be misused. Let not people misconstrue you also when you go for your services, or maybe you seek for help or support. People misconstrue you being a bother to them. Just go politely and seek for whatever the services you want in government offices, in private offices, like those who are non-profit organizations that do really assist or support in one way or another. But let us humble ourselves. Whatever God has for us will come into fruit, and whatever we fight hard for, God will really work for us. And let us believe that whatever man cannot do, God can do. Whatever God can do, no man can do. And we really appreciate for those who have really tried their level best to get what they fight for. My disability counterparts, my disability fraternity, whatever the organization you have formed, whatever the support you've got, let's use these resources you've gotten to make sure that you empower these people with disabilities wherever they are. Go for them, assist them, support them where you can.
Yes. Mr. Solomon, we really appreciate you for being part of this journey of ambassadors, for advocating for the rights of people with disabilities, and for also creating awareness for the people with disability. We say thank you very much for being part of it, and may God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Joseph Kitema, for taking your time to really interview me in matters relating to my disability counterparts all over the country, but especially or more so Kajiado County, as well as Kajiado North constituency where I reside, Ongatarongai ward, which is my home ward, where I've stayed for the last, or I've lived in for the last 23 years since I sat for, or I came to Kajiado County. And several activists have really tried to interview me. I would want to make sure that to let your ears know that when you've come up with a document, we would want to get it so that we also view whatever the intention you have, and whatever you want the world to know about what we are doing on the ground for these people. Is not meant for our own selfish gain, but it is for these people to gain, so that they benefit. The information will be there, and let everyone who will get this information share it to others who really want it. We want to go outside this box so that we do what is required of us, so that we make sure that these voices are being heard through us, because they are silent in their respective dwelling places, in their respective working places, in those places that they are at the moment. We want them to hear that we are really working for them, to be heard by NGOs who are supporting them, to be heard by CBOs who are supporting them. And I want to assure my people who are living in Ongata Rongai, who are living in Kajiado sub-county, here where I reside, that I'm going out of my way to make sure that we will seek the supporters, we will seek those donors, we will seek those partners, those people who are very vocal in making sure that you are being supported in one way or another, so that your economic value can be seen, can be realized by you, so that you at least get your life or your lives be changed once and for all. And keep on praying for us, keep on putting us into God's hand, so that at the end of it we all triumph together. Thank you very much, Mr. Kitema, for visiting us in our Kajiado North Disability Office, that you've been interested in to know how we are doing for these people with disabilities, and you decided now to interview us so that people may know what we are doing on the ground. Because in Kajiado, the Kajiado North Sub-County, we have each 5 wards. In 5 wards, we have representatives whom I appointed. They are doing their level best to make sure that they coordinate issues within those particular wards. And I'm working hand in hand with them, plus the elected leaders and the chiefs, who are really giving us support in terms of food donations and even bursaries. But those whom I appointed in very many 5 wards that we have are really giving me support to be able to reach these people where I can. And they are really trying their level best through to make sure that these people get to know that the government is there for them, and whatever the government wants to reach them, the government will use us to make sure that these people who are not seen outside are now seen through us. And that is what we would want even you NGOs to continue doing, you CBOs continue doing, you activists continue doing, you advocates continue doing, so that you reach these people where they are, because of that kind of fear they have within them makes them not to come out, especially the caregivers. They hide these children so that they are not seen out and they be supported in one way or another. We want them to come out. We will smoke them in a humble way so that they get the services of activists, they get the services of these NGOs, they get services of government officers, as well as those people who are well-wishers, who are giving us support in terms of material, monies, and etc. Thank you very much, and may God bless you all.
Kumalizia, unatuelezea kwenye ofisi ya located?
The Kajiado North Disability Office is located in Ongata Rongai Ward, in a building called KG House, room number G8, ground floor, opposite KCB Bank, Ongata Rongai location, just along Magadi Road. There, if you happen to come, you will get us. And you can also get access to me through my phone lines, that is 2 mobile phone numbers, that is 0724 742415. Another one is 0781 7795 48. My email is solomononunga@gmail.com. solomononunga, one word, @gmail.com. That is how you can get reach of me, and then from there we will continue to communicate and serve our people diligently.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you very much. May God bless you and continue doing a good work you are doing.
Thank you.
Yes, bye. May God bless you.
Thanks.